Thank you very much to the legendary Eco Waves to the resub 6 months. I can't believe it's been 6 months. And also, what the fuck is happening with my internet connection? What is happening with my internet connection? Let me see if it improves. I'm literally doing nothing. It is just going under and under. Thank you very much, modern institutionalized internet corporations. Thank you very much. Thank you very much immediately to the legendary Dr. Sleepyfist and Falcony for subscriptions. We might be defeating the evil corporations that are fucking up my internet, and we might start the stream in just a little bit. All the colors on my screen are turning red. Everything is losing its mind, but maybe we will still make it work. Let's give it a second. Let me just put on my mask and shit, and we'll be starting in a couple of minutes. Thank you very much for your patience, especially to all the returning beauties up in chat today. Give me a moment. Welcome everyone. We are starting in exactly 1 minute. How is chat doing this fine day? It is Wednesday, 26th of July, and I will do my best to make it feel like a Friday. We're so back, baby. We are so back. Internet looks like it's okay. We shouldn't be having any problems, but you never know. Also, a hype train is close, I see. A hype train is close, even in the intro. That is impressive, chat. That is indeed impressive. And with the legendary Ramka in chat, finally Latinoamericanski CIA Doodoo's with 100 bits, the actual hype train has started. And with the hype train slowly beginning, let me actually begin today's wonderful episode. How is my beautiful chat doing this fine Wednesday in between 4 p.m. and 7 p.m. You will never know, for I will not tell you. It is an extremely hot day, which we are combating through the incredibly unhelpful, ecological, disaster-inducing thing called a good old motherfucking AC, an AC that I can afford thanks to beautiful subscribers such as ZFIH, half a motherfucking year. Thank you very much, ZFAH. You guys are fucking real ones. Hype train is the level 2. If we get to level 5, as we all know, the train becomes so large it evaporates into the sky and then proceeds to fall down on Netanyahu's house himself. Thank you, Toasty Android, as well. 4 months, Ligma Gopnik. Ligma Gopnik indeed. Hello from Zagreb, druže. Pozdravi tebi, druže moj. How is chat doing? I see all of the OGs are up in here. Yana Gibashi, Ufigi, Nebd, Trap 420 Boy, ZFIH, that's what I like to see, and Romka, of course, the OG Romka. Welcome. Today is going to be a very interesting day, but first, a little bit of updates from yours truly. If you remember, the previous weekend, I was on a 3-day bender birthday with my girlfriend, and I haven't had a single weekend since then to actually properly rest up, as the kids like to say. Why? Well, because I had to go to a wedding on Saturday. Then a very old close friend of mine flew in to see me for 2 days. So that was stacking on top of stacking on top of stacking. And pretty much up until yesterday, I was also sick, combining that with the very unhelpful treatment of my body while sick and consuming ethanol. You can imagine how I feel right now. Not a peak performance, you Gopnik, if you know what I mean. Not peak performance, you Gopnik, but I will do my best to be as entertaining and informative as always. So, how you guys been doing? Drinking while sick? Yes, incredibly based behavior. You are not suicidal, you Gopnik. You definitely aren't. You go, my American exceptionalism is offended. You always stream at like 8 a.m., right? It's insane, right? Like time zones. Such a communist invention. It's disgusting. Globalization, Soros, all the fancy words. All the fancy words. Hi, chat. I'm at work, so I have to go because I have work, but have a great stream. Thank you for leaving. That's probably the best decision you can have when watching You Gopnik Twitch. But anyways, let's wait for the temperature to actually balance out in this room before we proceed into the core of this episode, which, as always, is me watching a bunch of videos and using that as a jumping-off station to comment on many things. Let us start with some news, with our favorite of favorites, the great Greek uncle, Yanis Varoufakis, okay? He has been a staunch advocate for Julian Assange's release, who has just now been released. My hot take on why he was released is because they didn't want to have peak elections while a journalist is on trial for, being a journalist. That would have massively watered down their kind of pitch towards the American masses, and they needed to take care of that before the elections came in. To an extent, Assange basically waited them out. I think he wasted around 15 years of his life, if you wanna say that, to wait them out so that they can quite literally say, okay, we don't want to deal with this right now, and allowed him his plea, which to an extent freed him, even though he most likely will be restricted from participating in any sort of journalistic activity for the rest of his life. Thank you very much, Romka, for the 100 bits. Jan is the most sensible Menshevik out here. Absolutely. Thank you very much. Unconvincing as fuck. Well, you are convincing to me, for the beautiful resub. Welcome back, my beautiful child soldier. And what are we going to be talking about today? We're going to be talking about Bumble and the Sexual Revolution, Ben Shapiro's streaming service falling, UK elections, what happens if we all stop using our phones. Maybe we'll do coverage of my own content over at First Thought through why doesn't international law apply to the West. Then we'll do a bit of shit posting. Black kid drowns in pool. You won't believe it. Tomorrow's Teachings is arguably the most entertaining channel on this platform right now, and we might actually for the first time choose to drive our head through that wall on today's chat. We might be talking about the philosophy of Fallout. We might be looking at Johnny Harris's hot takes on "They're lying to you. Here's what to do about it," and probably the answer will be vote a bit harder. And then we're going to talk about a bunch of conspiracies and some short news bloopers. In I believe 2 hours, Democracy Now!, also known as DepressionNow.com, brought to you by Amy Badman and the War and War Report. We will be covering today's Noise events, which is basically very depressing events. And that sounds like a plan. Does that sound like a plan, Chad? That sounds like a plan to me. So let me just see if I'm still having connection problems here in OBS. It says I'm going at 2,600 KBS, which should be KBPS, kilobytes per second, also known as killer bits per second. So I think we should be fine. Thank you very much. Sofa Cushion for the resub of the stream. Keep it up, comrade. Love you right back for the very generous support. You and all the lovely, lovely subs without whom this would not be possible. Let's do our best and hit that beautiful, beautiful 1,000 before this month ends, as we almost always manage to do. But yeah, anyways, enough about me, enough about my little rants about things as important as the weather. Did I hear correctly? Alice Chappelle's video about Bumble and the sexual revolution? Yes, you heard very correctly. Vote harder. You didn't vote hard enough. Aim on animations. Absolutely. 2,600 kilobytes per second. That's terrible. And is that Balkan internet? I don't know. That's the upload. It kind of hits.
Wonderful. A new child soldier.
It doesn't go over that when it comes to OBS and streaming. Like, that's the highest it can go. I think I have 100 megabytes per second download speed or something. I think that was it. Wait, can I actually check on stream without like giving up my fucking location?
Wonderful. Wait. A new child soldier.
Thank you very much, by the way, to Sofa Cushion, as I said, to Lulushia44 and J-Tide for the gifted sub. You guys are my beautiful future child soldiers of the Gunner state of Jezreel. Let us make that hype train reach level 5 so that we can proceed to use it in order for it to land on Netanyahu's house. Okay, internet speed check. It shows your IP. Okay. Thank you, mods. Thank you for saving my ass right there. I was about to show my IP to everybody, probably right next to my name and full address. I love it. Hugo, how do you feel about the new Star Wars show? I really like it, but the writing is kind of rough sometimes. I haven't watched it, but I really like Andor. I really like Andor. I see the chuds are losing their mind over the new Star Wars show. I don't know. I mean, there is argumentation to be made that Disney is like childifying it even more than it was before, and like oversimplifying it to an extent. But obviously, the chuds are basically just pissed off that hey, there's like fucking black women in it, you know. So one needs to differentiate this sort of reactionary commentary from real critique, etc., etc. But I was always a Star Trek guy, okay? Your boy is a Star Trek, internet communism guy, okay? Even though in the most recent, like, Picard season, they basically, like, reintroduce space capitalism. They even address it. I'm like, you literally have no ability to dream of a better future. You have no ability. You have no ability to see beyond your brainwashed fucking bourgeois class dynamics, man. Fucking disgusting. Thank you very much to Punisense, as always, for the 5th month resub. Man, one of the OGs, truly here. I tried watching Andor, but found the first step really boring. Is it worth sticking out? It's really worth sticking out. It's basically about how you fund a violent revolution against an imperial force. It's kind of pretty decent. It touches on concentration camps. It touches on, like, the amount of lack of soul searching that one needs to do in order for him to dedicate himself as a spy for the revolution. You know, being, to literally quote, being forced to use the tools of your enemy to defeat them. It's quite something, and it can even be relatively motivational for communists. It's decent, you know. No, the issue of Acolyte is not the DEI. The writing is stupid and childish, and Andor is genuinely original Star Wars without Jedi and that BS. Yeah, maybe. I haven't watched Acolyte, but Andor I can full-heartedly support. I think it's a really good fucking show. Even if you're not into Star Wars, it's not really even gonna like feel like Star Wars. Okay, it addresses class, it addresses revolution, it addresses the messiness of it. It addresses also why like people that work for the Empire and their perspective, right? It humanizes it, and it needs to humanize them because you end up understanding that they are like that, not because I am evil, but because that is the system they grew up in, and that is what normalized the Empire to them, because they saw alternatives, etc., etc. To just point at a fascist and say they're a fascist because they are bad is just liberal fucking bullshit, okay? They're a fascist because of the material conditions which pushed them into fascism. Yanagibashi, didn't Mark Fisher say it was easier to imagine the end of the world than the end of capitalism or something like that? Exactly. And that's why Star Trek has always been so impressive, because they managed to do the much more difficult part. Imagine a better world. Imagine a post-scarcity world. Imagine a post-competition world. And to an extent, even a post-class world, okay? Even though it's not without hierarchy, it's definitely without class. And they just couldn't handle it. The more recent Star Trek writers, they couldn't handle it, and that's why specifically in Picard, it's like they go and there's like a part of the galaxy where like capitalism is coming back, which insinuates that like it is inevitable for capitalism to come back, even in a post-scarcity world, right? Because I don't know, they don't say why. They just there's like slavers here now, and they use it to like make stuff. But hey, we have machines that can like kind of molecularly and atomically like create whatever we need. No, we still have these guys that want to do space capitalism. You know, it's just peak liberal brain rot. Exactly, Toasty Android, exactly. Speaking of peak liberal brain rot, I forgot to tell you, an ad is going to play in exactly 1 minute. So if you want to allow the hype train to reach level 5 for $5 a month for free through Prime while enjoying an adless experience, please do consider becoming a sub or gifting to someone who is not as privileged as yourself. But okay, on the conversation of guys getting taken to prison without proper allegation, Yanis Varoufakis on Julian Assange's release.
Wonderful, a new
Let
child
us see.
subscriber.
And thank you immediately to Jaeger. I love myself some Jaegers. 08 Larson for the resub for 6 months again. It's half a year, man. Fucking legends. Half a fucking year. I haven't gone forward with so many promises I've given, like, you know, actual like 15-day streams. I stream like 10 times a month max, but I'm working on it, okay? Lots of personal shit I need to grind through, and honestly a lot of logistics that I still haven't figured out, because I want Twitch to become my absolute number one thing, obviously after the deprogram, but that's when it comes to my own projects, not with the other boys. I want Twitch to become like a full thing and integrate my Pokemon in that and everything. Just it's been a fucking nightmare trying to squeeze in those 40 hours of streaming that I've been doing a month, which I want to turn into at least 80, maybe even 120 hours of streaming, but it's been impossible. Thank you very much for the level 4 hype train, by the way, all the subs. Thank you very, very kindly. Okay.
These dark times. It's magnificent to have.
Oh, also, I don't know if you're noticing I'm not vaping. I'm not really vaping right now. You know why? For so long, I've always been saying I'm not addicted to nicotine. I just enjoy the smoke and the social aspect of it and how it feels in my throat, right? That's what I genuinely believed about myself when it comes to why I was smoking. And then I listened to you fuckers. It's not Zins, but it's something fucking similar, okay? And I started trying this out. When I tell you that for the last 5 days, not even for a fucking second did I want to smoke a cigarette or a vape, I would be telling you the pure truth. Okay? I've tried these, but always like 100 times in the past, but always while I'm like already very high on nicotine. Like I already smoked like 5 cigs, already vaped for like an hour before that, right? So when this would hit me, I wouldn't really feel the type of nicotine high. And I would already be just like socially inclined to puff. But with this, if you don't puff and you just take this, dude, I don't want to smoke. I don't want to smoke at all. Like at all. So yeah, there we go. The next step. You no longer will be seeing crazy smoke up in here. Wait, does this still work? Does this still work? You will no longer be seeing crazy smoke up in here. Just me going away and putting a snooze up in my mouth, okay? But step by step, I killed the cigarettes with the vape. People say you can't do that. I stopped cigarettes completely thanks to the vape. Now let's see if I can stop it with this, and then next on maybe without anything. But stay with me on this wonderful, wonderful journey of me exploring many different ways to be addicted to slightly less harmful substances. Yes, that is the way of the modern man. What, you want to just live a regular healthy life? What are you, a goddamn nerd, brother? Speaking of nerds, let's listen to our favorite nerdy Greek uncle. Jesus, this is 18 minutes. Man, can't you make a 5-minute video? God damn it, man.
Have a few rays of light to pierce.
What brand? I'm afraid that if I show the brand, I'm gonna... But no, it's I think this is like European in general. This is the only one I tried. It's called Paz. It's Paz, Daytona Paz Super White. Strength 4 out of 5, okay? Yeah. There's no, what do you call it? I'm going to be going to the States on Friday or Saturday. I'm going to be streaming from there. So I'm going to try Zin's on stream. Ah, what the fuck? Water fell. Jesus, sorry. I'm going to try Zin's from there. Okay. Now back to the regularly scheduled podcast. Super White, yes. This is the true Aryan motherfucking snooze, baby. As a Balkan dude, do you bet on sports? No, man, no. That is one stereotype. That is the only stereotype that I have not fully ingested, okay? One step at a time. Maybe these are so white that they'll actually make me white. Super White is his basketball nickname. Might I ask permission? Is possible to stream edits a la Hasanabi Industrial Code? Yes, as many as you want. Edit this, upload it wherever you want. I will never fucking copyright you. If I do, fucking shoot me with a nail gun. Okay. You're going to Channel? No, I'll be meeting up with Hakeem and JT in a different location over at the end of July. That is extremely exciting. But I will. I'm going for for my girlfriend's family thing to New Jersey of all places. New fucking Jersey. So if you see a guy with a nice undercut over there, it's ya boy. It's ya boy Ugopnik, okay? New Jersey. I'm going to go see that bada bing. I'm going to see that bada bing. But, yeah. JT second the basement. Bada bing, gabagool. I can't wait to say, I'm walking over. I've been to New York before. I've been to New York before, not my thing. Even though if I had to live in the States, I would probably live in New York. But I would rather lubricate my arm, shove it up my ass, take out all the shit I can find in there, and eat it in front of you, my beautiful, beautiful chat, rather than live in the United States of America. So, yeah. I am good. I just hope they actually let me in. That's going to be awkward if they don't let me in. Because with my girlfriend and her whole family, and I go there, and they're like, no, you cannot enter because you do things on Twitch. So,
Through the darkness and to allow us to celebrate that the human spirit cannot be confined into the darkness forever, that the human spirit cannot be defeated, that resistance is never futile, even when it seems to be so. There were times when, with Srečko Horvat and with others of you here, we felt
Srečko Horvat, another Balkan OG, baby.
that the struggle to save Julian was probably lost. And there were bleak moments. There were stony years, especially after 2015, 2016. I'll get back to this in a moment, but let me first, because there are quite a few people who don't understand what exactly has been going on. As most people know, at this very
Snooze taken. If I start to proceed to lose my fucking shit, then no, it is because of the fucking Zins.
moment, Julian is on an airplane.
Damn, that shit hits immediately, man.
It is disgraceful that he has to pay for it himself, that it is a chartered private flight that the Australian government, the British government, the American government, who have caused all this pain, are not paying for. So remember, we need crowdfunding to help pay for the $500,000 necessary to take Julian to Guam, to somewhere in the middle of nowhere in the Pacific. Let me act as a...
There you go. Even Julian Assange needs subscribers. We literally every single like even barely anti-imperialist person on the planet, like step 1 get subscribers, step 2 revolution. Yes, indeed.
Pseudo journalist for one moment, for the benefit of those viewers and listeners who do not know exactly what has been going on. Look, it was around 9 months ago when
love how like a right winger goes and like kills 5 people, and they make a GoFundMe for him, and he gets like 10 million. A cop like kills a black guy and gets fired, 1 in 1,000, and they immediately make a GoFundMe and he gets like $1 million. every because leftists tend to be, not always, but tend to be more on the poor side. That's why they're more agitated. Leftist makes anything like, yo, let's
Wonderful.
crowdfund
A
this,
new
and like,
child
nope,
soldier. I mean,
I want
subscriber.
to, but I literally cannot feed my children. While right wingers just get money from like big dudes. Thank you very much. Username 128934 for the 4-month bussy. Thank you, my beautiful child soldier.
Julian's family informed me that there was an offer by the American government of a plea deal. It sounded simultaneously like good news and bad. You agreed
Also, my beautiful mods, if you can adjust the title from time to time, I would be very, very grateful. Thank you very much.
to drop your resistance to the extradition process in the United Kingdom. You come to the United States, you appear in front of a court, you declare yourself to be guilty of a lesser charge, espionage charge, but not the top notch, which would qualify for him for the death penalty of 1,000 years in prison or whatever. You will be sentenced to 5 years in prison, and then because you've already spent 5 years in Belmarsh, this will be considered time served, and then you will be released and you will be extradited to Australia. That was months ago that it was proposed to him. I can tell you that he said no, because he's not guilty of anything. And also because of the fear that once you end up in the jurisdiction of Virginia, where the process started 12 years ago of persecuting him and making sure that he dies in a Supermax prison, two parallel processes. One is his family has been pushing Julian to accept, because this is a family that has been completely wrecked by all those years of having
Death by Virginia. This is Daytona. Super white Daytona. But yeah, Death by Virginia. No comment. I wouldn't be able to survive 15 years at this point of semi-active imprisonment. It is, whatever you think of Assange, just... the strength of his human spirit is absolutely unmatched. Absolutely unmatched.
Julian dying slowly inside that prison. And I understand that entirely. And at the same time, there was negotiations on how to ensure that he does not spend 1 hour in prison, and especially not a Supermax prison, not in any cell, even of the judicial system, of the court system in the state of Virginia.
I'm genuinely positively surprised that he wasn't suicided at this point, like by now. And many people will say, oh, it's a very fucking public case, that's why they didn't just off the dude. But let's be honest. Epstein was a very fucking public case, and he of course committed suicide. Of course, we do not spread propaganda or conspiracy theories here on YouGovnik Twitch.
District of Columbia. So in the end, it's clear now that I learned from.
I guess he has been made an example for telling the truth. Yeah, I guess they milked it enough. Like, hey, if you speak of the truths that are the more radical truths, which cannot be aired, etc., then you'll get 15 years of absolute torture. So that might be worse than actually killing him, right?
From the media myself, I didn't have any inside information that the deal was completed. They found the nearest American.
Who cut my hair? This one very cool dude. I'm very loyal to my barbers. I'm loyal to my woman. I'm loyal to my barbers, and I'm loyal to my cause. I drive like for 30 minutes just to get to him, even though their branch of barbers has the same one that opened recently, like 3 minutes away from me. Very cool dude. Went to jail for weed selling like back in the day, and then became a hairstylist. Very, very, very chill dude. Very funny as well. And he changes his hair color all the time. Pretty cool guy.
Judicial jurisdiction, which is as near to the territory of the Australian Commonwealth, which is somewhere in a godforsaken little island near Guam. And he's being flown there on the understanding that he will not be incarcerated not for 1 hour. He'll appear in front of a judge. The fact, however, remains, and this is crucial, that he will have to appear in front of a judge with his lawyer.
Okay, thank you very much, Yanis. Okay, we learn more about what is happening with Julian Assange. He has been released. He has accepted certain pleas just for practical purposes at the end of the day, and we will see how the story develops further. He's been tortured by over 15 years for simply not even necessarily telling the truth, just taking a bunch of data and information from a whistleblower that was already there and putting it on a platform which later throughout, at this point, is insane to me, like through the decades did what? Was one of the main and most influential sources for reporting, quite literally. So yeah, GG to him for that, and GG for him for getting out of prison, and hope he gets some peace now, right? Even though, let's be honest, I sincerely doubt that. But I've received,
Hey there.
I see
Before we jump in-
information from, this is 12 days ago? What the fuck? How did I miss this? This is 12 days ago? What? I completely missed this.
Hey there.
Yeah, I wanted to make a joke that I've been contacted by my boss JT that I need to watch this immediately. I missed it too. Yeah, I missed it as well. The fuck? Same. Yeah, something happened with the dude. I fucking talk to this guy every fucking day, and I haven't heard this. So we all know what's happening. It's probably about Boeing, right? It's about Boeing. This week we're using the recent Boeing whistleblower saga. So yeah, Boeing updates can be Boeing assassin updates can be the title of the video. I wanted to make a joke that my employer JT just called me up and he's like, "Yo, dude, you need to watch my video. What the fuck? I need the views, bro. I need like the views, bro, from like your Twitch channel." That's not how it works, but he needs the views, bro. So let's watch it. Let's milk my boss's content. Even though this is a very interesting topic about corporations killing us. Sometimes metaphorically and sometimes
A new
quite
child soldier
literally.
and subscriber.
Thank you as well to Yana Gibashi, the OG of OGs of gifting subs in this channel, without whom none of this would be possible. 159th fucking gift sub. Thank you, Yana. Thank you very much.
Before we jump into the video, I just wanted to take a second to talk about age restriction. We talk a lot about social problems on this channel, and we don't pull any punches when it comes to discussing genocide, fascism, or police brutality. Because of this, YouTube age restricts a lot of our videos. If you'd like to get around the age restriction and help support the channel while you're at it, you can find all our videos on Patreon and Means TV. I've left links to both in the description, and both are great ways to help support principled socialist content. Means TV is home to some of the best documentaries and original series around, and becoming a patron on Patreon gets you early access to every video, plus access to the Second Thought Discord server. So if you want to watch all our age-restricted content without giving YouTube your information, check out the Patreon or Means TV. I hope you enjoy this week's episode.
There are issues around the safety culture at Boeing.
Multiple reports of fatal flaws, explosive quality and manufacturing flaws on Boeing planes.
All right, speed run of the past few months.
By the way, people are asking what's my hot take on Boeing. My hot take is that similar to the railway system, the bus system, the metro system, all forms of travel, even outside of a socialist system, must be state-owned and state-managed. Okay? That's it. That's it. We are not supposed to allow private enterprises who will be stingy on everything in order to increase the profit margin, which Boeing is a perfect example of, to manage massive pieces of metal that fly through the fucking sky. Okay, that's the ultra lukewarm take. Okay, it's not even communist. You got like screaming nationalize, even though yeah, I guess you would need to nationalize.
Boeing, the world's largest aerospace company, has had some problems with their commercial jets. You'd think that the airplane people would know how to make functional airplanes, but whatever, chalk it up to the odds. You make enough planes, some of them are gonna be lemons. And by lemons, I mean fall apart and or blow up. So Boeing is having a little PR trouble. The problems have become so widespread that people have even coined the phrase, "If it's Boeing, I ain't going." Not a great look for them. But that was only the beginning of their trouble. On January 5th, 2024, the door blew off a 737 MAX 9 operated by Alaska Airlines. There weren't any human casualties, thankfully, but the rogue door did claim the lives of a t-shirt, 2 cell phones, and a teddy bear. The plane had to make an emergency landing, and the FAA decided to ground nearly 200 more 737s for safety. On January 16th, an anonymous whistleblower and Boeing employee told the Seattle Times that this incident was Boeing's fault. The reason the door blew off was stated in black and white in their own records, and that the event, quote, speaks volumes about the quality culture at certain portions of the business. Now Boeing had a real problem. Someone inside the company had grown a conscience and was starting to air the company's dirty laundry. Unfortunately for them, the crisis only continued to deepen. On March 3rd, a 737 MAX 8 veered off the runway when its landing gear failed. The following day, an FAA audit determined that Boeing had repeatedly failed to comply with manufacturing quality control requirements. Then on March 6th, the head of the National Transportation Security Board, or NTSB, accused Boeing of not cooperating with their investigation into the January door incident, apparently failing to provide the names of people who worked on the door plugs at the suspect facility. That very same day, a 737 engine caught fire mid-flight, forcing an emergency landing in Florida. 4 days later, a wheel fell off a 777, crushing cars below. Things just kept getting worse and worse for Boeing.
As pilot Lenin once said, all your planes ride perfectly for decades, and then they all start falling from the sky in weeks.
Boeing. And then, on March 9th,
Pilot Lenin, I know him myself, personal acquaintance, man. He like keeps ranting about the dialectical flyism of planes, okay?
John Barnett, a former quality control manager and Boeing employee of 32 years, was found dead in his truck just days after testifying against the company. The cause of the death was apparently suicide, with one gunshot wound to the head. Barnett's testimony was not the first time he'd made trouble for Boeing. He had repeatedly raised concerns to his superiors while he was QC manager, all of which were ignored. Then in January 2024, he appeared on TMZ to explain that Boeing was likely cutting corners on the 737s, since they were put back into service too soon to have actually been fixed. With Barnett dead, there wouldn't be any further stories about quality control. How convenient. Unfortunately, the fact that planes kept falling apart speaks for itself. On March 11th, a 777 was forced to land after it started spewing hydraulic fluid. On the 15th, a 737 was grounded because it was somehow missing a panel. On the 20th, a 737-900 had to make an emergency landing after an engine blew out on takeoff, and on and on. Then, on April 10th, a second whistleblower came forward. Sam Salahpour, a Boeing engineer, testified and accused the company of taking shortcuts when assembling the 777 and 787 Dreamliners. He claimed that the jets had fatal flaws and could come apart in midair, and that all of them should be grounded. Now,
Thank you very much, Javelina Singh, for the sub for the second month. Welcome back, my beautiful, beautiful child soldier.
don't worry, I'm not gonna ramp up the conspiracy and tell you that Salahpour also ended up dead. That would be too on the nose.
Wonderful.
On April
A new
30th,
child
a
soldier,
different
a new
whistleblower ended up dead.
subscriber.
Joshua Dean, a former employee for Spirit Aerosystems, a key Boeing supplier, had been one of the first to
Thank you to Yana Gibashi one more time for the gifted sub to Dialectic Spectacle.
sound the alarm about quality control issues on the 737 MAX jets. He testified in a lawsuit against the company, revealing their negligence, and was subsequently fired. During an interview in January, he said that employees were pressured not to report defects in order to get the planes out the door faster. Dean, 45, died of a sudden and severe staph infection. His family reports that he was healthy and active, and that
And
the
thank you to Jocula, one of the OGs. Why are you watching this tanky? Do you want me to drive a tank through your mom's house? Thank you, Jocula. You fucking biggest troll on here, by the way. And happens to be what? You're probably Serbian, right? You motherfucker. I love myself some positive trolls.
sudden death came as a complete shock. So that's 2 whistleblowers in 3 months, both after testifying and giving interviews
Finally figured out how to gift subs a decent way on my phone. LMAO. Why does Twitch gotta make this such a pita? Because they are fucking... Because CIA, probably.
about Boeing's culture of negligence and cost-cutting. It could be a coincidence. 2 data points is hardly conclusive, but that
It's not like the conversation is supposed to end there, okay? When it's privately run, profit maximization is the point. You can't really improve more on planes because they're fucking planes. What, you make them run faster? But that would require what? An insane amount of money and an insane amount of research. So we want to make more money, but we don't want to invest that much because our fucking yacht payment is due as the board who runs the company. So we will do what to increase profits? We will fucking cut costs. When it comes to cutting costs on anything from banana production to fucking high-tech planes, that is going to have what? An impact both on the consumer and the employees. When it comes to Boeing, well, a lot more on consumers because as Boeing employees themselves say, we don't ride Boeing. That one John Oliver interview is legendary.
timing is pretty weird.
So yes, again, I don't know. It might be a conspiracy, but well, it's all the fucking system, man. Jesus Christ. That is why it's much more difficult to be a communist agitator than a right-wing one, because like you sound like you're repeating yourself, because almost everything is directly caused by the motivational structures given to us by the system. And you just sound like you're repeating yourself. But that's almost 99% of the time the fucking right answer. That's it. Zdravo druže, first time watching you live with the boys. Fuck yeah, thank you.
And now, a whole lot more people are coming forward and sharing stories that corroborate all the accusations. One of them is Dean's
Speaking about systems, Twitch's system must make money, so it will play an ad in exactly 1 minute. Now you get to have pro-Boeing propaganda playing to you, or you get to have a communist shit talk this giant corporation. The choice is yours. Watch the ad or become a sub for $5 a month, or for free through Prime or give to someone else. Corporate propaganda or communist propaganda? You choose with your own money. Thank you very much.
Former coworker
The ad will play in 1 minute.
Santiago Paredes, who's hesitant to fully endorse the rumors surrounding the deaths, but said in an interview, quote, "I'm not saying that I'm scared, but at the same time, I can't turn a blind eye to the reality of what could be. I have to prepare myself for that." All right, so let's get this out in the open. A lot of people are pretty
Did you see his little? Oh, he did the little table thing. Did you see? Oh, that's like such professionalism. Look.
I have to prepare myself for that.
He takes a long pause and then does the table thing. Look.
All right, so
Checks the table. Is the table here? The table is here. Okay, this makes me feel like a very, very professional. Yes, indeed. Now my opinions will be listened to. I gotta shit talk my boy a little bit. Come on.
get this out in the open. A lot of people are
Probably did that like a table sitting take like 10 times, you know?
pretty convinced that what we're seeing is a massive corporation assassinating whistleblowers. That's a big deal. It's also sparked a long overdue conversation about extrajudicial killings by corporations and the state. Flip through any history book and you'll find thousands of examples of corporate sanctioned murder. Fruit companies, rubber companies, energy companies, they've all at one point or another paid either local thugs or corporate militias to eliminate people causing trouble for the company. And heck, that's just the crime of murder. We're not even looking at the literal slave labor that we saw in Nazi Germany or still see in modern US prisons. And the reason this is so important to talk about isn't just because of a few sketchy deaths. There's
Imitating Johnny Harris. No, not imitating. Perfecting, okay? It is disgusting to say that JT is the communist Johnny Harris. No, Johnny Harris is the liberal JT, okay?
There's a bigger picture here, something that affects all of us. It's not a conspiracy theory, it's not some
JT is KGB Johnny Harris. No, Johnny Harris is CIA JT. God fucking damn it, man.
secret truth. It's just the cold reality of our capitalist system. But we'll get to that in a
My takes are so hot, I need to put on some sunglasses, brothers. Oh, yes, indeed.
bit. First, we need to talk about some modern examples of corporate and state silencing. A lot of these instances we've cited so far are pretty old. The reason for that is simple. It's a lot harder to assassinate people and get away with it these days. There was no Twitter or Telegram back when United Fruit was butchering people in Latin America. No one was gonna cause a fuss. Today, if a single whistleblower dies or has to flee the country, the whole world knows about it pretty quickly. 2 whistleblowers and you're really pushing your luck. Even if you've got a near monopoly on commercial jets and you have the state in your pocket because you produce their war machines. But back on track, modern examples. While it's hard to give definitive examples, obviously no company or government official is going to be like, yeah, that was me, I had that guy killed. We can look at the results of whistleblowing and see a very clear trend.
We have secret interpretations of the law. What does the law mean if there's secret interpretations in secret courts? We have Bradley Manning's trial.
Perhaps the most common example is Julian Assange.
Jesus Christ, yeah. Oh my God. This was made 12 days ago. Fucking wild, man. Oh, JT, don't have a wrong take because he was released just now. But he was literally released because it would be too inconvenient for them to tackle him during the election cycle, so.
The Australian activist and brains behind WikiLeaks, a publisher of leaked documents. Assange revealed all sorts of human rights abuses and government crimes over
Assange. You know, I see some connection there.
the years. But what landed him in hot water was when he tried to do the same thing to the US. One video, commonly referred to as collateral murder, shows incontrovertible proof of a US helicopter crew firing on Iraqi civilians, killing around a dozen people, including 2 journalists. What does Assange get for his bravery? The most powerful country on earth hunting him across the globe, threatening him with decades in prison for showing the world the dirty truth about the US military. The guy had to
It's so weird still, sorry, super off topic, but that I'm like doing this without vaping and not feeling the need to. It is confusing the shit out of me. Because I used it for like, for small pauses in between, like it just worked, but now, no.
begged for political asylum at London's Ecuadorian embassy, where he stayed for 7 years while the US tried to
You are seeing Yugopnik evolve out of being a 12-year-old child live. Isn't that beautiful? That's peak content right there. Operating on a different level, right?
extradite him, surviving on fast food in a converted office. In April of 2019, he was arrested by the British police and thrown in prison, where he remains to this day. He's kept in his cell 23 hours a day and only allowed 1 hour of supervised indoor recreation. Upon inspecting Assange's condition, Niels Meltzer, the UN Special Rapporteur on Torture and Other Cruel, Inhuman, or Degrading Treatment or Punishment, concluded that, quote, in addition to physical ailments, Mr. Assange showed all symptoms typical for prolonged exposure to psychological torture, including extreme stress, chronic anxiety, and intense psychological trauma. That was all the way back in 2019. Nothing has changed.
Yeah, I mean, if you even look at like what Assange looked like before he had to go through this literal hell, and what he looks like now, you can see that is not regular aging, my dear friends. That is, well, the trauma of being in an inside space for 15 plus years and being challenged by, well, the empire.
Time of right.
Just little small things. What have you done this week, eh? What have you done this week, chat? Oh, me, Assange. Oh, I'm just challenging the war against principled journalism.
Assange has just been granted the right to appeal the US's latest demand of extradition. This back and forth will likely last the rest of his life. Julian Assange
Shit, you fucked up, man.
will waste away in prison because he told the truth about the United States. And this is a fairly common occurrence.
Ha! There you go. The State Department watched JT's video and was like, "Ha! Let's take down JT for this. Let's take down JT for this. This is how we end Second Thought, the greatest communist builders in the world." Okay.
There's also Edward Snowden, who revealed the horrific scope of NSA spying on American citizens. And
now they're going to have to call back Edward Snowden as well, because JT mentioned it, okay?
Chelsea Manning, the former Army intelligence analyst who leaked military documents to WikiLeaks.
CIA analysts taking notes on Second Thought vids. We must combat this propaganda.
Snowden had to flee the country, and Manning was facing 35 years of solitary confinement in a maximum security prison before Obama decided he needed a PR win and commuted her sentence to just 7 years in solitary. And this is where we need to expand the conversation a bit. Why are whistleblowers punished? Because they reveal things about those in power that make those people or corporations look bad. Whistleblowers aren't arrested or murdered because they're lying, but because they're telling the truth. And that truth threatens the status quo. The story has been the same all throughout American history. MLK was a radical preacher who condemned racism and worked to achieve equal rights for Black Americans. The ruling class begrudgingly tolerated that. But as soon as Dr. King started talking about the evils of militarism and capitalism, he wound up dead. Malcolm X, Dr. King's more confrontational contemporary, suffered the same fate, as did Fred Hampton, chairman of the Black Panthers, who correctly identified that fascism was the most critical threat to overcome, and worked to organize food programs for hungry kids and political education for Black Americans. Every civil rights figure of the era who also identified imperialism and capitalism as the root cause of the world's problems got assassinated. Talk all you want.
Like, right-wingers talking about woke culture canceling them. Meanwhile, leftists throughout history, yeah, we'll just kill the fuck. Yeah, we'll just kill the fuck. Yeah, just death. Yeah. It's really difficult to be a truth sayer nowadays and saying all the transes are evil. I can't even say all the transes are evil without somebody not watching my Netflix special. Meanwhile, people are like, capitalism bad.
Want, but do anything to materially threaten capital, and it's game over. And this hasn't stopped. 6 activists mysteriously died after the Ferguson protest against police violence. Hundreds of anti-capitalist Black Lives Matter activists were tracked down and arrested on bogus charges in the aftermath of the George Floyd protests. In each case, from MLK to the Boeing whistleblowers to college kids protesting genocide, the crime was directly organizing against the state and against capital. And if there's any lingering confusion, let me be completely clear. In the US, capital is the state. We have elected officials, but they're bought and paid for by immensely powerful lobbies. Oil and gas, the military-industrial complex, the Israel lobby.
I mean, even look, he's writing in capital letters. I thought that was going to be funnier than Jesus Christ. Okay, I quit this. God.
So when you see Boeing whistleblowers dropping like flies, regardless of whether there was foul play involved, and you see the government not really doing anything to force the company to fix the problems these whistleblowers exposed, now you know why.
That joke was so dad, I need to go ask my girlfriend if she's pregnant.
There's a joke that the US isn't a country, it's 3 corporations in a trench coat. That's pretty accurate. Over the years, the inherent logic of capitalism has concentrated more and more power in fewer and fewer hands. Every major news channel is owned by one of just 5 companies. Amazon has completely destroyed mom-and-pop shops. Our grocery store shelves are stocked with what looks like thousands of different options, but if you read the back of the box, you'll find that all of our food is produced by just 10 companies. Cutthroat competition always naturally ends with a winner. That winner then wields enormous wealth and power. And without rules to prevent the mingling of corporations and the state, these mega wealthy companies lobby, a polite way of saying bribe, our elected officials to pass legislation that—
I mean, let's be honest, this is the real choice. This is the only real choice between who should be the next American leader, okay? Let's be fucking honest.
America is a nation that can be defined in a single word. I was going to put him. I'm not going nuts. I'm not sure whether it's a medical school or where the hell I spoke, but it was on a campus.
Hi, my name is Speed. My bonus. Oh shit, I'm tweaking, bro. Alright.
IShowSpeed wins.
And to get hot, I got.
Listen, IShowSpeed's foreign policy is way better than Biden's, yeah. And probably under the great Marshal IShowSpeed, American sports would again be elevated to true levels. Because he would just want to have like higher stats on the players when he plays the fucking Football Manager games.
I got hairy legs.
Also, he loves Albania, yeah.
That turn. That turn. I want to be clear. And Corn Pop was a bad dude, and he ran a bunch of bad boys. Not a joke. And he said, I'll be waiting for you. He was waiting for 3 guys in straight razor. I'm the only white boy within 20 miles.
I love old white boys trying to sound black. And they just end up sounding like a fucking Alabama rancher, dude.
One hunky's just as bad as any other. I'll take whoever you send me.
I forgot about this, bruv. Oh, my boy.
You gotta do one of these. Oh, that looks so cool. No.
Well, this reminds me of something. Come on, chat. Don't act fucking innocent. Come on, chat. Come on. Don't act fucking innocent here now. Don't act fucking innocent here now. Don't act like you wouldn't watch it. 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 Don't act like you wouldn't watch it here.
You want to protect yourself, get a double-barrel shotgun.
Let's watch on stream.
And to say to President Biden, can you hear me, President Biden? This is a historical moment for Brazil and for the U.S.
I declare war on Russia! I declare war! Bye-bye, Russia! Bye-bye, Russia! Ben, do you support Black Lives Matter? Man, what? Ben, where you at?
Speed, turn around! Speed, turn around!
Jesus Christ.
Those white kids. White and
fucking ears.
Non-white districts. Poor kids are just as bright and just as talented as white kids. But I didn't know any black people. No, I really didn't. You didn't know any white people either. A quick reminder.
Oh, this is the best compilation by far, man. This is like a perfection.
They're gonna put you all back in chains.
on this topic, like on this topic, check out my fucking Instagram, okay?
Wait for this. No, nothing's happening, right? Nothing is happening, and then dum dum. What the actual fuck? No, it's like a very old candy, but still, Jesus, right there, in between a lot of them is just this. Fucking hell, man.
Just a regular day on on Serbian television. really good candy, though. It really is. It really is. But still, on public television, like seriously, on public television, you just put it there. Like, nobody was like, guys, this might be a bad fucking idea. Like, even though the context is completely different, everything is completely different, but still, on television, on the middle of the table in between all your guests, you just put the... Come on. Now when I say I do Twitch streams, will people associate me with these people?
Oh no, I just lost 100 grand. I didn't think he was gonna do it.
Yo, Mr. Beast. Oh, you that one time when you donated to my stream?
Yeah. Which time though?
Mr. Beast donated $1.99 through Super Chat. Big Black Monkey Boy, Big Mr. Beast!
After today, would you still refer to President Xi as a dictator?
Well, look, he is. I mean, he's a dictator in the sense that he is a guy who runs a country that is a communist country that's based on a form of government totally different than ours. Anyway.
大家好。How you doing?
现代化产业体系更加健全。
What do you mean?
中国经济在风浪中强健了。同志们，
And the fucking sand is hitting me so hard!
先生们，对未来充满。
Jesus, I'm getting some high show speed energy here. Jesus, it's fucking addicting, bro.
这一年的步伐，我们走得很坚持。疫情。
天上太阳红呀红彤彤哎，心中的太阳是毛泽东哎。
I don't care if you think I'm Satan reincarnated. Were I a Jew, I would be a Zionist. My father pointed out to me I did not need
to be a Jew to be a Zionist. I can quote this word by word.
That shit is fucking trash, dog. Get the fuck off the airwaves.
Oh, come on, man.
Nice. Nice. Made me happy, made me smile. Nice.
Bye-bye, Israel! Bye-bye!
I mean, he nuked Gaza as well, but yeah.
I'm from Israel. Are you okay?
Free Palestine!
Oh, fuck. Oh, yeah, good call. Wait.
Why are you doing this on your own?
Hey, look at it. So I learned about roaches. I learned about kids jumping on my lap. And I want to see these beautiful young ladies. I want to see them dancing when they're 4 years old.
A new subscriber.
Oh, I forgot about this fucking classic. Thank you, Too Hardcore, for the resub. Welcome back, my beautiful child soldier, for 6 months, serving the great state of Jezreel and the great Gunner homeland, which we will one day reconquer, and it will be in Netanyahu's house. Thank you very, very much.
My lap. And I want to see these beautiful young ladies. I want to see them dancing when they're 4 years old.
I like 15-year-old girls!
Oh, Wal Mall never changed, man. Never fucking changed. Go subscribe to Wal Mall right now. He's the incredibly questionable individual, but we all love him.
That makes it even easier to maintain their monopolies. Boeing is a massive, massive company with its fingers in both commercial air travel, already an enormous...
Thank you very much, Nasreen, for the sub. 5 months. Welcome back again, my beautiful child soldier, for the great Gunner state of Jezreel. Thank you very much. Nasran means something very different. Tinisi Nasran. You're not Nasran, okay? You're Nasreen, okay?
Market, but also the military-industrial complex, an even more enormous market. They can drop a briefcase of money on a few critical desks in the government, and suddenly planes literally blowing up in...
And now back to a regularly scheduled podcasting, programming, indeed.
Midair isn't a...
Program, not programming. Yeah, we only deprogram here, indeed.
Big deal. And that's not corruption, that's just American businesses exercising their right to free speech. Here's what we want. We'd appreciate it if you listen to our concerns. By the way, I accidentally dropped some money into your account. And that brings us to the point of free speech for the rest of us. In the United States, we supposedly have the right to freedom of expression. People often use this term too broadly. For example, if you're a student and you get detention for distributing flyers saying Mr. Smith is a doo-doo head, you can't lean on your right to free speech there. What the First Amendment protects against is the ability of Congress to restrict the press or...
Can't believe my boy said the word doo-doo head. But speaking of doo-doo heads, you can watch ads which will play in exactly 1 minute, which will teach you to consume. Also known as turning you into an absolute fucking doo-doo head. Or you can watch me, who will say revolution. The choice is yours for $5 a month or for free through Prime. Thank you very much for your consideration. The ad cannot be stopped and will play in exactly 30 seconds. Are you a doo-doo head or are you not?
For the right of individuals to speak freely, especially on political matters. An easy way to remember it is, if the government is involved, that speech is supposedly protected. If your speech is not about the government, it's less clear. The First Amendment sets limits only on the relationship between...
I like saying things about government. Thank you, Ramka, for the 100 bits. Freedom of speech is when you can call your government a Christian extremist pigskin. And cumskin, okay? And not cumskin. And a Christian extremist Jew. Muslim. I'm all of it.
Between the U.S. government and its people. On paper, you're allowed
to... For those who do not know the context, I refuse to explain.
Refuse to stand for the Pledge of Allegiance, you're allowed to burn the flag, say we're run by oligarchs, criticize the president, all that stuff. We all on the same page? Now, here's the part where I need you to stick with me for a second, because this may sound strange at first, but it'll make sense, I promise. This ability to grant freedoms, such as the right to criticize the government, is what marks a truly powerful state. A state with absolute control. Nations that crack down on everything, they're weak. They're not in control of their people. A country like the United States, which is guilty of the most hideous crimes in history, which is in fact run by oligarchs, which routinely overthrows democratically elected heads of state and installs puppet dictators, knows that none of these things matter. Since the end of World War II, the US has been the uncontested economic and cultural hegemon. It is...
Čvrsta ruka batine i zatvori, samo zatvori I čvrsta ruka. Ako zatvor ima jedan kat, izgradite još 2 kata. Welcome, beautiful raiders from Lucid Fox. Everybody go check out Lucid Fox. They're doing God's work, Marx's work, Satan's work, whichever one you prefer. Welcome, my beautiful raiders. We're talking about Boeing assassinations and many other things after this. Probably going to cover some Twitch drama, etc., etc. Please, everybody go check out and give Lucid Fox a follow. If you do not, I will punish you rigorously by spanking you on the back of your beautiful butt, but not in a very nice way. Thank you very much, Johnny Soda, for the 6-month sub. Thank you very, very much. But no, seriously, thank you, Lucid Fox. I hope you had a wonderful stream. I always hope to return the fucking favor, but we all, like always, I started at a different fucking time, and it's awkward at this point. Afternoon, comrades. Afternoon, Lucid Fox. Did I give you a VIP? I gave Lucid, the fucking legend, a VIP. And thank you immediately, MXG, for giving 5 gift subs to our beautiful raiders. If you were ever considering giving gift subs, now is the moment. Welcome everybody to the community. We ain't watching ads up in this motherfucker. Thank you also to Yanagibashi for the 4 gift subs, making that 164 gift subs. Jesus Christ, Yanagibashi, I am supposed to take a fucking plane right to your house and give you a big smooch on the butt, okay? Compared to the other one, okay? Thank you for the additional gift sub as well.
The sole world superpower, at least for now.
MXG, Anagibashi, and MXG, thank you very much. And again, welcome, Raiders. Today we're going to be talking about many things. You can see in the title what we're going to be covering. So stick with us. Prepare your ears to be slightly hemorrhaging because I am yelling today. Okay, today I'm yelling. Okay. Today we're yelling.
American movies grace theaters around the globe. American designer brands.
And again, go fucking follow Lucid Fox or die by spank.
Coveted by all. American politics affect.
Yeah, I got that snooze energy, right? I got that fucking. I really do, man. And I don't know if it's the right thing to do, but I've been reusing because it's. I got one that has far too much nicotine, so I use it for a bit. I take it out and then I put it back in 3-4 times to use it fully. I'm a very greedy man. Okay, these things are expensive. Okay. So thank you to chat. You're literally helping my snooze addiction this time instead of Kukumba vapes. The Kukumba vapes are now put in the past. Now we only take snooze, baby.
Entire world. And
yes, that's my great arc. Okay, that's my great arc. It's not moving from libertarian to anarchist to socialist to ML to orthodox Marxist. No, it is from vape to the snooze up in my mouth.
The myth that the U.S. sells?
It's all about Zin or so my friends say, I guess, even though we don't have Zin here. And I always am we have shitty stuff here, not like in the States. And I go and try it in the States and it fucking sucks. I was always oh, why don't we have what do you call it? The fucking the small vape that kind of started the whole thing. The one that looks like a USB. Remind me, I am I'm losing my Nick drive. The one that looks like a USB, a fucking Juul. Yes, Juul. Thank you. So I always like, oh, we have all these like fucking vapes here. Like we don't have a Juul. You know, the Juul's probably the shit, man, because Yankee Stan, right? America Voodoo, and then you get it from America Voodoo, and you fucking coughing like crazy, and it sucks dick, right? And then not in a good way. Probably the same with Zyn. Probably this Daytona super white Paz is better. But thank you, Marina Dove, for the resub. Aide ljudi, aide brate sestro. And thank you, Gabriel Hellborn, for the 100 bits. Chat chooses spanking you. Oh, you choose spanking. Hell yeah, brother.
That Americans are the freest people on
That's
earth.
the future of streaming. They need to add like something that connects to a spank machine. And every time I press a button, you get a nice little spank.
That here you can be anything you want with just a little hard work. That we are a bastion of democracy, the shining city on a hill.
Swedish? Is it in the Swedish? Okay, I take everything back, man. Those fuckers fucking know what they're doing. And they've been chewing tobacco before anybody else. On the wedding, I had a very awkward moment with a Danish guy. The Danish guy was there, and I had just rediscovered this stuff. And I'm sitting there, and I'm like seeing him puffing cigarettes like crazy. And I'm like, dude, you need to try this. And he's like, okay. I'm like, dude, this changed everything for me. I realized I was actually a nicotine addict, so now I don't feel like smoking when I'm taking this. And he's like just being polite. But after a few drinks, he comes to me and he's like, dude, what you just did is like me coming to you and talking to you about how I just found out about rakia or vodka, like to your Slavic ass. My ancestors have been doing this for like the last century, so politely stop talking to me about fucking snooze, okay?
Hill. And while that's obviously not the case, it would be much more obviously not the case if we didn't have these nominal rights like the right to freedom of expression. I get that comment all the time. Well, if it's so bad here, how come you're allowed to say all this stuff? Because that is power. The US government knows that a YouTube channel like mine is no real threat. I may help funnel people into socialist organizations, but I don't have any real power to upset the status quo. And so critical speech like mine is allowed.
Dream sets. I mostly agree with JT on this, but I feel nuance needs to be added. America doesn't bother censoring free speech because the corporations like Twitter, institutions like universities ban the free speech themselves. And when these things fail to keep things in control, the government steps in, as can be seen as the new anti-Semitism laws or banning TikTok. Exactly. No. A very good caveat to be added to this. And especially, like, additionally, the United States and actively enforces their non-polar but only polar-looking political system as a means to stifle any sort of radical political thought by pointing at this choice, which isn't really a choice, and telling you that, oh, you actually do live in a democracy. Look, compared to the other countries, they only have one real choice, etc., etc. That is why we are far superior. As I always like to say here on stream, the brilliance of the American neoliberal so-called federative democratic system is that they realized you don't need to beat the shit out of them. You don't need to beat the shit out of them to force them to vote for only one group. Just give them two groups which are basically the same, and they will beat the shit out of each other, fighting for either said elephant or donkey. Yeah. That's the gist of it.
Up until the point where people start to act on it. Colleges across the country
but then when that doesn't work, obviously, as we've seen most recently with the college protests for Palestine, they will beat the shit out of you, right? But they postpone the beating the shit out of, yeah. They don't like create a new prison system and call it the gulag. They just integrate slave labor into the prison system, and you don't notice anything changing. They're just more suave about something that almost every neoliberal country on the planet does right now.
Classes on the evils of imperialism and fascism and police violence. And that's all fine until the students decide to actually organize and do something about those evils. Then they're on the receiving end of the imperialism and the fascism and the police violence. Anyway, the bottom line is this.
States with collective planning don't need multiple parties and might not need parties at all in the future. Absolutely correct. But in the beginning, during the transition era, it might be wiser to quite literally say what you just said. We are turning to a system with no parties instead of calling it a one party. because it's this bourgeois mentality over democracy equals many parties for me to choose from, kind of has been embedded very much so in our psyche and our understanding of what it is to run a quote-unquote democratic society, even though, a democratic society where nobody can afford a fucking house. Gabriel Hellborn, thank you for the 100 bits. Okay, one of you needs to do an episode on divide and rule. That's easy. That's not a bad idea, but I feel like it's too easy.
Problem of people being imprisoned, brutalized by police, or literally assassinated for the crime of telling the truth is bigger than one aerospace company. The United States is the most powerful country on Earth, and it's manufactured consent for all its crimes by selling the myth that it's better than the alternatives. Because at least
George Monbiot's latest book makes it very clear. Before, neoliberalism and capitalism were synonymous to freedom and democracy. Now they just naturally abandoned democracy, saying it's no longer compatible to neoliberalism, and freedom is only afforded to the capitalists. Yeah, beautifully put. Beautifully put. I mean, at this point, it's been completely naturalized to identify the capitalist system as the only option, and not because, hey, we get to compare capitalism to something else. No, that level has been passed a long time ago. You just identify capitalism as the way it has always been and the way it always will be. You call line the idea of capitalism as the state of nature, the state of the world, the de facto, the end of history, right? They no longer even need to say the end of history. They just call it all of history.
Here we can protest and push for change, except we can't. Complain online? Sure, fine. Bring the receipts. Show videos of US war crimes, expose the criminal negligence of a massive corporation, threaten the capitalist status quo. Then you're in trouble. And the worst part is, we all know.
You take notion. You take notions that people want to believe in and want to support, and then you water them down massively. When it comes to the idea of what is a democracy, they watered it down to you get to choose between different political structures on who gets to lead you. In the American context, is you get to vote. Okay, voting is the ultimate political expression, and in this country, you actually have a choice between two different options. That's how they pitch it to you, at least. And because it's already been watered down, that is all you think that you can get. That is what you think peak freedom is. Hoorah! USA! 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 I get to vote between the blue and the red, right? And once enough people embrace that, it becomes what? It becomes the new definition. Because words mean what people believe they mean. And in the current American context, that is what they mean. You get to vote between two parties. That is democracy. Don't ask for more. Because if you're asking for more, it might not be compatible with this democracy that we are so politely giving you. Yes? Yes.
Oh, this is happening. When people like Jeffrey Epstein get killed because they have dirt on some powerful people, we all laugh and wink and say, oh yeah, he totally didn't get assassinated. We know what's going on there. We all know about COINTELPRO and Mockingbird, the CIA operations to surveil and propagandize American citizens and undermine civil rights movements. We know all about the horrific and shady things our government gets up to. We make movies and books and video games about all these things. We commodify the very things we're afraid to admit exist in real life. It's the same story with the Boeing whistleblowers. People are making jokes online because they feel like it's obvious what's going on, but there's nothing we can do about it.
But that's like additional American exceptionalism as well. They're like, oh, this shit happens in Russia and South Africa and China and Brazil, but this just de facto doesn't happen here. Because like we are the main game and everything else is DLC. And no matter how like progressive you want to be, for most Americans, it's difficult to understand that the same shit that happens internationally also happens in your own country. It just doesn't compute with them. It simply doesn't. So sometimes when it's like very obvious that a conspiracy might be an actual conspiracy, your gut reaction is, there's no way that is real. Well, in other countries, people are like, yeah, they just fucking killed the guy. They just threw him out of a fucking hospital window. Whistleblower just died immediately. Yeah, they definitely fucking did. But the American doesn't. That's the joke. Like the difference between American capitalism and capitalism in the developing world is that the rest of us know what to call it.
What can normal people do in the face of a country that has sold itself as a benevolent utopia when we
I think even the Hitman official Twitter account joked about it. Yeah, that was very funny.
all see what's happening, but no one can stop it? The Boeing saga is still unfolding, and we'll likely never know the truth about these suspicious deaths. This is shaping up to be just the latest in a long series of stories of normal people daring to speak up, to tell the truth even when it's dangerous. People like Assange, Snowden, Manning, MLK, Malcolm X, Fred Hampton, people like John Barnett and Joshua Dean, they may be household names today, but when they chose to stand up for what they knew was right, they were just regular people like you and me. People with a conscience who had the bravery to say enough is enough. And a world that treats these people as criminals simply for telling the truth is a world that desperately needs a reboot.
Let's reboot, motherfucker. No more updates. We need part 2. Part 2, capitalist boogaloo, baby. Yeehaw, motherfucker. Yeehaw, baby. Thank you very much, JT. Everybody go and subscribe to JT if you haven't already. I would be very surprised, but in case you haven't, please go and do so. Now, from actually important stuff that actually matters in the world, let's move to a bit of fucking shit posting. Dr. Disrespect admitted it. Dr. Disrespect, in my perspective, has always just been, I don't know, fucking the basic bros fucking streamer. That like the ultimate, hey, I'm a fucking man's man and play some fucking video games. So I wasn't necessarily invested, but it became a big thing. I talk live in front of a microphone. He talks live in front of a microphone. That means I need to address it. And what better way to address it than by watching another guy who talks into a microphone, talk about that guy who talks in a microphone, and then proceed to talk in a microphone about what I think about this particular guy that talks into what? A microphone.
Bro, on Twitter. He admitted it on Twitter, bro. He was like, yeah, I was DMing minors. Yeah, it was inappropriate. I was like, what? You admitted it? What is going on? Well, there's a reason why he admitted it. Ladies and gentlemen, as you guys know, I already covered this pretty extensively. All of the, shortcomings, all the comings and goings in general. Like, this is literally happening at 11 a.m. Like, right as I was going live, this motherfucker was like, I'm going to tweet out that, like, I DM'd a minor to try to link up. And yeah, the Bloomberg article came out. That's why.
Oh, Jesus. Did he? Wait. Yes, I still write twitter.com. Fucking shoot me. Dr. Disrespect. This is Dr. Disrespect. He's very disrespectful. Okay. Hi. I'd like to make a quick statement. Let's cut the fucking bullshit. Oh, it starts immediately very masculine. So masculine indeed. As you know, there's no filter with me. Oh my God. Oh Lord. Yes. No filter with me. I'm honest with my audiences. I've always been upfront and real with you guys on anything that I can be upfront about. And I'm always willing to accept responsibility, which is why I'm here now. First and foremost, I do want to apologize to everyone in my community as well as those close to me. Blah, blah, blah. Words. A lot of people have been left in the dark about what happened yesterday with Midnight Society and we made a painful decision collectively to have me step down. Yeah, collectively, I'm sure. Our team is full of incredibly talented and good people. Everyone has been wanting to know why I was banned from Twitch, but for reasons outside my control, I was not allowed to say anything for the last several years. Now the 2 former Twitch employees have publicly disclosed the accusation. I can now tell you my side of the story. Okay, let's hear your story. Were there Twitch whisper messages with an individual minor back in 2017? The answer is yes. Oh my God! The surprise is real and mind-blowing. Fucking hell. Oh, yeah.
Why he had the DM. That's why he had the tweet ready to go, locked and loaded.
Hello, guys. I have no filter. I did try to talk up a fucking kid.
We'll talk about all of that. Dr. Disrespect Guy Beam.
Bro admits to being a creep but wants to be a tough guy about it. Yeah, brother. Are you even a man if you don't fucking talk up a little girl from time to time, brother?
Was banned literally like 4 years ago to the exact date almost, okay? From Twitch. I covered it. If you want to know the background of this whole story about like...
Wait, wasn't he still streaming on Twitch or he was streaming somewhere else this entire time? Let me get that sweet nicotine. Nice. Nice.
How we got here, who Dr. Disrespect is, like all of that I covered 2 days ago on my
YouTube. Ah, he was streaming on YouTube. Yeah. Even I remember that fucking switch. I probably watched like 5 minutes of his shit. I don't know. I might be just like an asshole about this, but I did a few like small sketches here where I would wear the fucking military vest. And I felt so cringe about it every single time I did it. And I was doing it for specific, like, niche jokes about World War III is happening. This guy just wears it all the time. And plays Call of Duty. Yeah. I don't know. I just, like, the second I saw that, like, just the aesthetics, I was like, okay, not for me, I guess.
YouTube channel. I highly recommend.
Certified gamer boy, certified pedophile.
Recommend you watch it. I basically gave like a thorough analysis of all the allegations. A former Twitch employee, username Evola at Twitter, posted like he got fucking banned because he was texting minors on the Whispers product, and that guy and all of his defenders, which was crazy. Like, that was crazy. Out of nowhere, it just came out, and people were just like, oh my God, he's talking about Dr. Disrespect, also known as Dr. Kid Inspect. So there was some back and forth.
Certified gamer boy, certified pedophile.
A little bit of speculation.
Speaking about certified pedophiles, in exactly 30 seconds, a certified pedophile, also known as advertising, will try to pitch you different products to make you feel better about yourself while stealing your money. Well, compared to them, I will tell you directly that I want to steal your money. For $5 a month for free through Prime, I will steal your money, but in return, you will not have advertisers stealing your money. Gift or get one yourself and be stolen from by an honest, upstanding guy like myself. Thank you very much.
A lot of people had gotten secondhand accounts from Twitch workers and things like that, but no like firsthand Prime.
Jesus Christ, 0 out of 10. I don't think I've ever had one that this bad. Fuck you, fuckers. Come on, it was honest, schmucks.
Primary sources, enough evidence, enough direct, formative, tangible, like something you could put your hands on style evidence that you could come out with a story. Like real journalists try to cover the story, right? Anyway, the final update from that is that yesterday, Dr. Disrespect got a text message from his gaming company. I covered that yesterday, but he got a text message from his gaming company called Midnight Studios that they were dropping him. And he got that text message literally on stream. And you can watch him like go through.
Oh, Jesus. Yeah, I think I saw this on Twitter as well. Wait, what was it? Elden Ring. Jebi se u pičku, bre, Dr. Disrespect. You can't make this up. This is not edited. A stream the moment Disrespect knowing he's cooked, plus Elden Ring in the background. Just watch this. Just watch this.
You know how we run things here.
Not fucking edited, dude. Not fucking edited. Not fucking edited. Rest in peace, brother.
You know how we run.
Thank God he was wearing the fucking sunglasses. Am I right?
Through that, you can watch him go through the motions of being like, oh my God, my life is fucking crashing right before my eyes. This gaming company was going to be my fallback if, you know, the streaming stuff falls apart. Like, I got the gaming, and like Elden Ring boss music is playing in the background, and he's just like, yeah, I think I'm gonna quit. I'm gonna quit, you know, and then I'm gonna move to Costa Rica, which we then found out Costa Rica's age of consent is like 15, which is pretty crazy. Anyway, it's the lowest in NA. That was a fun little journey that we figured out a bunch of that stuff. But yeah, he's like, oh, I'm gonna go on a vacation. I'm gonna extend that vacation, yada, yada, yada. Here's the thing. Even at that point, it's very, very suspicious, right? It's very suspicious. Dr. Disrespect's fans are like defending him and things of that nature, but there's still no hard evidence. And then Slasher told me that there was an article coming out. I couldn't reveal it because I didn't want to scoop the journal who did the work. Cecilia wrote for Bloomberg. She came out with the Bloomberg article. Cecilia D'Anastasio wrote this entire article in her report, very carefully worded. YouTuber Dr. Disrespect was allegedly
Dr. Kid Inspect. Certified gamer boy, certified pedophile. Whoa, 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 whoa.
Kicked off Twitch for messaging a minor. Now, Gamer, whose real name is Guy Beam, says he did nothing wrong. Guy Beam, known online as Dr. Disrespect, is one of the top YouTube video game celebrities. So he was banned 4 years ago. You already know this stuff. Reasons for his banishment from Twitch were never given, but 3 people with knowledge of the matter said Beam was removed because he exchanged sexually explicit messages with a minor through the service's direct chat feature. He also asked a minor about her plans at the TwitchCon convention.
Oh, dude. Dude, that is this. Oh. As an adult, okay, there might be some fucking underage people in chat. As an adult.
Wonderful, a new child soldier, subscriber.
There is no universe in which you are chatting with someone who you know is a minor and you feel that it's not insane to ask them about linking up anywhere. If you do not have the loudest and most insane sirens going off in your fucking head when that thought even comes to mind, you're a certified gamer boy, certified pedophile. But no, yeah, like unironically, that's it. That's it. Like, I can find absolutely no excuses. Sure, somebody hits you up. You don't know if they're a minor, they're a fan. You chat a little bit. They're like, oh, actually, I'm 15. And okay, even then, like, you continue for like an hour. Like, oh, hi, thanks for watching my stuff. You're cool. Go to school, study. Maybe one day you'll be a Twitch streamer too. Nothing fucking necessarily wrong with that. But yo, what are you doing later on TwitchCon? My underage fan. Yeah, there's nothing. There's nothing. There's nothing. Dr. Kid Inspect is correct. Thank you, Hakeem, but South African, the fucking legend, the fucking regular up in chat. Thank you very much for the sub. More child soldiers for the great Gunnar army of Jezreel. In the great state of the Gunnar homeland of Jezreel, we will publicly execute every certified gamer boy, certified pedophile.
According to two of the people who asked not
Hi, Jaws. Nice to see you.
to be identified discussing such a sensitive matter. A complaint was later filed with Twitch through its reporting system, the two said. The allegations were first...
No, like unironically, if you're a fucking normal adult and you're interacting in any way with both online or offline with an underage person, there is supposed to be an instinct that fucking immediately turns on in your brain that you are supposed to treat them very differently than an adult. And you to be able to go so far as to think that it is normal to ask them about seeing them without their parents or something not going off in your head, while you're doing that insinuates either two things. You're fucking idiot. Like you're... I don't know why I'm even trying to potentially find an excuse, but you're just like an antisocial creep. Like you just like your brain isn't wired, or yeah, you have very, very, very fucked up intentions.
First posted to social media by former Twitch employee Cody Connors. Post has since gone viral. The Verge also reported
the Hassan hater to pedophile pipeline is real.
on the reason of his removal, citing another source it didn't identify. Cecilia posted nothing new. She just reposted everything that was already out and tried to present it as new. Here's the thing. Here's the thing that you guys don't know that I know. News reporters, when they write articles, they're...
Why does this keep happening with gamers, YouTubers, streamers? Like in general with... in my opinion, with these sorts of fucking people. I don't know. I can't give you an answer. It's a power trip of some sort. It's weird because, like, my answer would be, my hot take is they grow to be so big and they really want to be celebrities. And what they're taught growing up, a celebrity is someone who, gets the bitches, bro. Yeah, bro, we get the bitches, And they end up being huge, but because they're fucking Twitch streamers, they don't get the bitches, bro. And because their audience is so small, the only bitches, bro, that hit them up are, kids. So they're like, oh, finally, I'm gonna get some poo-tang. But it's a child, man. It's a child, but that doesn't register because they're so into like being a mainstream celebrity or whatever the fuck, and then they end up fucking hitting on a kid. That's it. The bitches in question, children. Yeah. Power trip plus easy access. Yeah.
There is a standard.
Why does he need bitches? He is married. Well, a normal human being would say the same thing, but we're not talking about a normal human being here.
That they have to abide by. This is not Dexerto. This is not someone going on live stream.
The next thing that needs to be researched, if he's like actually into kids, or if it was a power trip at that particular moment, it wouldn't change what he did. Like, end of conversation. Go fuck yourself. I don't want to be in the same room with you, right? But I don't know if there's information on if he did that regularly and if he's He's, well, fucking, proper pedo.
Fails, browsing the live stream fails Reddit, and then like copy pasting commentary.
I think there are weird ways in which certain circles try to normalize it or do apologies for it. Yeah, look at Kick. Exactly. And when it comes to parts of his audience or anybody else who tried to solicit a minor, trying to like justify it, like remember that most of the people trying to justify it are kids as well, or just kids as well. That's it. So in their brain, they aren't able to wrap it around the relatively complex thing about the situation, which is, hey, this superstar I love wants to hang out with me. So what if I'm underage, right?
Terry from the Redditors.
Super fucked. I'm not sure about that, man. Look at Epstein or that Nickelodeon guy. I say in Hollywood is just everyday thing. Absolutely insane. Maybe. Yeah, maybe. Always the protect the kids reactionaries until you have to actually protect kids. Yep. I'm not saying that there's a large part of his audience that are adults that are also fucking incredible creeps that are defending him because they would do the same thing. Because, again, they're just predatorial. But I feel like a very large chunk of his audience is just, young and naive, and that's why they're defending him. Look.
This is a person who's a real journalist at a real publication. A lot of you guys, I think, have this attitude about mainstream media, which is understandable. It's born out of like the reporting that mainstream media regularly does on, Israel, Palestine, for example. So you think like, oh, no, this person didn't bring in anything new. No, when they say I have 3 sources, that is massive because originally it was just Cody, which was one source.
Don't forget that kids want to be older than they actually are, so some will be happy to get treated as an adult, which makes it easy for such creeps. Yeah, that's pedophilia 101. That's called grooming.
The Verge now has 2 sources. The second source is unidentified. Cecilia has 3 sources and maybe even has additional documentation probably because you do not upload a story like this because you would get hit with the fattest libel charge that would have your head spinning so god fast. Okay. There's also different levels of sourcing. There's primary sources. There's actual documentation. You might not actually leak the documentation here, but you might have the documentation. This is very important. Now, when Bloomberg writes this article, of course, it goes into a different sphere. It is no longer a Reddit conversation.
TrueAnon moment. Yeah, TrueAnon watching this fucking rubbing their hands like, oh, I'm going to make like 10 episodes on this fucking guy, man.
It is no longer a Twitter conversation. It's no longer a Twitch conversation. This is in the news wire. When this is in the news wire, your dad might be hearing about this. Okay, the executives are going to be hearing about this. CAA executives are going to be hearing about this. Marketing managers are going to be hearing about this. And that is precisely the reason why, in the eve of this article coming out, Dr. Disrespect did something that I always find very strange.
Dr. Disrespect his wife.
It has worked out well for him thus far. There's a lot of people defending him. He came out and he admitted it. To get ahead of the story, he came out and was like, that's right, baby. I was texting minors, dude, and inappropriately too. But don't call me a pedophile. How dare you? Social media's gone out of control. And it's like, bro, what do you mean? You just said you were DMing minors inappropriately. And
mods, please very kindly adjust the title. Thank you very much for your service.
Trying to link up with them. What are you saying? You were like 38 back then. You're 42 now. You mean, big dog? What are we talking about even? I'm the real victim in all of this is not an attitude that you can have in this situation. Let's get to it. Okay. Dr. Disrespect comes out after the Bloomberg.
I mean, no, fuck you, Hassan, because it is. That is the type of attitude that is most likely going to save him from this situation. Just blame it all on cancel culture, on social media getting out of hand, on people taking something that is innocent and then overblowing it, etc., etc. Because it works. That fucking works. And that's what he's trying to do because it tends to work. Because people don't actually care about truth and justice. They care about a person who they have a parasocial relationship continuing to thrive. And then when you sprinkle in them already being fucking brainwashed by years and years and years of, oh, they're just coming for the straight white males because they don't want to give us a space because they want like minorities everywhere and they want to fucking woke this shit up and it's the LGBTQ plus agenda, blah, blah, blah. You got it working because there's a big enough audience in whose fucking melted brain his behavior is absolutely okay as long as it's painted by a brush of, hey, it just woke to call people out now. Like, they've taken it to such a level. They're just calling people out on shit that they're doing, and in this case, a very radical thing that not only needs to be called out, but I think that needs fucking hardcore consequences, as just, you know, wokes being wokes.
Article that we just looked at and just straight up says it. He says it and then he deletes it. He says it and he deletes it. He says it and then he says it again. Now let's start with the OG one. Okay, that's 48 minutes ago. He just came out hot. Okay, he came out hot. He came out swinging. He put that on. He put that out there. He was like, "That's my shit, dog." Okay, let me tell you. Here's what's up. Okay, here, let me put some music on for this, bro. Hello, I'd like to make a quick statement. Let's cut the bullshit. As you know, there's no filter with me. I've always been upfront and real with you guys on anything that I can be upfront about. And I'm always willing to accept responsibility, which is why I'm here now. First and foremost, I do want to apologize to everyone in my community, as well as those close to me, my team, and everyone at Midnight Society Game Studio.
Remember when they were shitting on gay people because, like, it's a pipeline into pedophilia, and then it's always the fucking straight dudes that are just fucking pedos. And then they defend them. Like the same guys that will be sitting here and being like, yo, like the gays are like making pedo stuff because they make documentaries where children wear drag. This is what is going to get all of our children fucking pedophiled out so hard. We're pimping out our kids, etc., etc. Is the same guy. Why is it always the same guy that's saying shit like that will defend an actual fucking pedophile? That will defend an actual fucking pedophile always. It's always the same guy. 1-to-1. Is the trans, not the gays, correct lore? Yes.